All right, I just froze up there for a minute. Hey, you guys, it is Tamika Chambers. I hope you're having a great start to your week. We are already into September and into the second week. And so I took off a couple of weeks. Our children, my children, they started school, and we took them on a vacation before the school vacation. So that's why I have not been as active in the Facebook page, or my Facebook page, Fulfill Your Divine Purpose. So I actually had another topic to talk about today, but then there was something that continued to flow in my mind, and as you know, often those thoughts um, are often floating around in the world, because if one person has the question or questions it, then more than likely there are others who question it, right? You're never the only one. That there's always somebody else who has that same question, whether it's in your household, whether it's a coworker, or whether it's just someone around the world. And so I have been tutoring uh, nursing students, uh, or potential students that are taking their NCLEX exam, right? So people that want to be a nurse, a licensed professional nurse. So I've been tutoring them with that. And one of my students, um, her husband asked her, "Why are you guys laughing so much? Aren't you supposed to be studying?" And that thought just kept circulating in my mind about laughter. And it'd be amazing if I could share this story with you guys. Is that as you know, I went through a potentially traumatic experience as a child. And one of the persons who misused my developing body was laughed a lot, joked around, and had this contagious laughter. And the reason why I'm able to talk about it, because again, one of the principles I talk about in my memoir, in the book about cultivating your mind, is that you take the good, right, and you leave the bad. That often the things that resonate with you are part of your identity. As a child, joy, laughter, we want to laugh, right? As children, we laugh about a lot of things, joy, curiosity. And I refuse to allow what someone did to me to take away that part of me. And so I was known as the one that had this contagious laugh, as one of my best friends would say. It would start him laughing. And I can get kind of loud and, really just get into a deep laughter. Now, have I always been that way? No. And of course, there are certain situations that it's kind of hard sometimes to laugh. Why? Because sometimes we get so involved and trapped in what we're doing, so serious. And of course, when I go back to the present, statement that this student's husband made, that nursing, taking your NCLEX exam or any exam, is a serious nature, right? It's like we want to pass, you become a registered nurse. And what I have found out often is that the nursing students, the ones that are preparing for their exam, are stressed out, right? They're stressed. They have test anxiety. They're so serious about their work. I just want to learn it and get it done. And often they overstudy, I've seen. And when you think about fulfilling your purpose, we overwork, right? Overstudying, overwork. We take our work home with us. We take it to bed with us. We have insomnia. We can't sleep. We're not getting a restful night. Growth hormones and the hormones that actually help repair your body are not doing their maximum work, because you're not resting. You're not in that restful state where your temperature goes down, where your mind is more relaxed and more susceptible to thoughts and linkage with this higher power. When we're so stressed, our blood vessels constrict. That can lead to high blood pressure. When you think about the heart and you think about the eyes and the kidneys and how those tiny blood vessels, those passageways that lead to those organs, those critical organs, right? The heart muscle, that they're not getting the oxygen that they need. And when we talk about cardiovascular disease, we talk about high blood pressure, we talk about congestive heart failure, when we're overworking our heart and it's not getting the rest that it needs. Because on Heart to Heart Mondays, we talk about issues. We talk about those things that can put people at risk for having heart disease, for having, a continued weakened heart state leading to congestive heart failure, possibly needing a heart transplant because the heart is not working effectively. And when I think about what he said, and you may already know that stress hormones like adrenaline, cortisol is known to increase fat around your gut. And in that increases your risk for insulin resistance. And when we think about insulin resistance, we think about insulin being that hormone that your pancreas produces, those beta cells in your pancreas, they produce, and they help get your sugars into the cells so that you can have energy, because the body loves sugar as a form of energy, especially the brain. Well, cortisol interferes, that excess fat interferes with how insulin works. And so we start thinking about insulin resistance and diabetes. And having diabetes puts you at an increased risk. At one point, they were saying 2 to 4 times risk of developing heart disease. So you are at an increased risk of developing heart disease when you have diabetes. Does it mean you're going to have heart disease? No, it means you're at increased risk. So anytime you're at increased risk, you help to decrease your risk. We know research says that when you laugh, however, you're increasing dopamine, those feel-good hormones. You're increasing oxytocin, that love hormone. And so when we're increasing the good stuff in us, that has a way of decreasing our blood pressure, right? The vessels relax instead of constrict. That our eyes from our toes are getting the oxygen, the nutrients that are circulating inside of these highways and byways throughout our body, these vessels, blood vessels. And so laughter is a very important life-sustaining action we can do every day to help us decrease our stress. Yes, we have goals. Yes, we have responsibilities as a mother, as an entrepreneur, as someone who wants to take care of our body, inside and out, and my children, and showing them how to do that, and making sure I fix heart healthy foods, throughout the day. I find ways to laugh. I find ways to help my children laugh, that I'm not taking myself all the time so seriously. There's a time for action, serious, making sure you understand something, and there's a time for laughter. One of the things that my mom did for us, she laughed. If she mispronounced a word, or if she stepped on, kind of tripped, almost tripped, or she would laugh about it. If she wore socks with her sandals, and she was like, what's wrong with what I'm wearing? Socks with sandals. She'd laugh about it. So she found a way to interject laughter in a very potentially stressful situation, because she raised 3 children, 2 boys and a girl, going through the different stages, developmental stages of life. She as a single parent found time to laugh. And we would laugh And there were times we were serious, but I remember a lot of laughter. Even today, a lot of laughter. And so whatever it is that you are going through, and remember, it's a lot of people out there taking this class and that class. I gotta do my work. I gotta get business. I gotta pay the bills. I have to be here. I have to be there. Constantly rushing and rushing around and doing stuff that to relax and not take ourselves so seriously all the time. How can you interject laughter in your life, in completing your divine purpose here on life, in being that entrepreneur? Do you always, take yourself seriously that, you criticize and beat yourself up? I should have done this. Why didn't I do this? And I look like a fool. And, somebody may see it as, man, she's human. She laughs. She makes mistakes. And often even that, when people see the human side of you, that you're not always perfect, and that, bloopers do happen. I love bloopers, TV bloopers. You see the actors and they're killing each other and shooting guns, and, they're, some may be, mean towards others and doing different things. But when you see the bloopers and you see, wow, we can laugh. There's a time for laughter. And so how are you bringing in laughter into your life? Are you watching funny movies? Are you comedy? Are you reading funny things? Are you, laughing at yourself when you may put salt instead of sugar, in a cake, or are you beating yourself up? Are you talking to family members, friends? Are you learning from life and adding a little humor to what happened in the past, as far as when you were bringing your business, through those stages, of novice to, growing to becoming the expert? Are you using opportunities to laugh? Do you laugh when people don't say kind things to you? Do you find a way to kind of use humor in that? Now, I'm not talking about laughing about people, because our Creator made people, made you, made me, the way that He designed us to be, the way we were designed to be for this earthly journey. So I'm not talking about laughing at people and making fun of people, but using opportunities when you're laughing with people, when you're laughing with yourself. And so there are so many ways, just like there are teachable moments, there are so many ways where you can just, find something to add a little humor to it, because you're helping yourself, again, not just getting to that ultimate goal, but it's part of the process of becoming you, part of the process of continually growing, part of the process of evolving to the highest version of yourself. And if you think about some of the great leaders out there, they've always found time to laugh. Dr. Wayne Dyer, and just so many that are out there. Find a way to interject humor, to not always be so serious. And if you don't listen to my podcast, I have Create a Generational Love Cycle podcast, where I talk about things and how we can actually create the love cycle instead of always interjecting pain through, from generation to the next generation. How can we let go and live? And part of that is laughing, laughter, instituting that in your daily life. All right, so I just want to share that with you. And often, you'll find me laughing, and if I said something that got tongue-tied, I'm laughing, and because it's about enjoying your life and enjoying the fruits of your labor. I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care of yourself. I hope you found this video helpful. And if you haven't checked out my podcast, Create a Generational Love Cycle, it's all about letting go of those thoughts that created the pain we continue to see in the world. Pain when I'm talking about chronic health conditions, teenage pregnancy, youth violence, as you know, is on the rise. We talk about abuse in any form, neglect, child abuse, domestic violence, how we can stop, break the cycle of pain by creating a cycle of love. And again, part of that is learning not to be so serious all the time and enjoying your life. All right, talk to you guys soon. Take care of yourself.